Greetings fans, hyperfans and people just lost looking for videos of cats on YouTube. It is the final day of my Samurai Pizza Cats build and I'm saving my favourite of the rescue team till last, and that is BatCat.
BatCat is the super dude we call upon when the situation gets so heavy that even the writers can't figure out a solution. By the way, kids, don't try this stunt at home. Remember, these are professional cartoon characters.
You've seen me build the other three teammates in Fast Forward, but I wanted to take a little bit more time with this one and maybe just talk to you about the show a bit. So we'll start just by unpacking this. A little bit worried about that. Some of the pieces have already come out of the wrapping and off of the sprues. And last time they did that, which was with him, it was because the plastic had gone like super brittle. So I'm just a little bit worried because I don't want this one falling apart. So the show, Samurai Pizza Cats, is this weird show. It was just such good parody. The whole show took place in a imagined city of Little Tokyo, which was kind of Edo period Japan, but populated by anthropomorphic robot samurais and ninjas, and it was ridiculous. Our heroes in the show, called something like Samurai Pizza Cats, worked their days at a pizza restaurant doing deliveries, and then when giant monsters threatened the city, they jumped into their pizza ovens, went through an exceptionally ornate henshin sequence, came out looking practically the same, and just had sort of the most ridiculous battles. The English dub was absolutely filled with the most cheesy jokes, self-referential, fourth wall breaking, and I've never really seen a show that did that before. And we got it over here on Saturday mornings, and then later when we got cable TV, it was on Fox Kids for ages. But we never got it on home DVD here. Practically everything else that was on Fox Kids was. But, oh, this is feeling really brittle. I'm so worried about it. Can you hear that? Luckily I've got super glue to hand just in case it does mess up. So yeah, you had a really peculiar mix of characters. I mean, you had ninja crows. The main bad guy was a rat. There was a king panda who had gone mad. A princess who was sort of maximum tsundere, because every time she did get angry she would launch missiles and destroy half of the city block. You had background characters that would bitch about the animation budgets. But there was actually sort of a narrative that ran through it. You had returning characters, you had a redemption arc for one of the villain generals. And they were getting away with all of this on what was supposed to be sort of a straight parody. So because of some quite weird and fun stuff that's happened in my life, I've kind of grown up with sort of henshin series and anime for most of my life, even though I'm older than sin. And I loved their approach to sort of taking the mickey out of it. I mean, again, I've talked about those big, long transformation sequences, and they came out looking almost identical. It was about as... the end result was about the same as sort of taking a name patch off. And they would do this huge thing about the villains not being able to work out who they were, despite the fact that, you know, they were literally delivering them pizza in the next shot. And then, when the first series ended, you actually had climax, and you had some sort of real threat in the shape of a villain team who had blocked out the sun to leave our heroes powerless. They actually did the whole heading off and retraining and getting power-ups. It came in like a giant lucky cat statue that split open, and inside was a giant mech and new suit upgrades, and just there we go. That one's not too bad, I can fix that. Leave that one to dry. Right, well, at least I know I have to be careful with this. I mean, character names were really dumb. Really bad puns. Our main heroes were Speedy Ceviche, spelled Speedy Service, Polyester, and Guido Anchovy. So all, you know, dad pun level jokes. Okay. I mean, this was also probably sort of one of the first shows that I really got into off of my own bat. Oh, I've just realised I get away with not having to do... Oh no, I do. I almost thought I got away with not having to do eye stickers. I mean, everything like sort of Power Rangers and Transformers I'd been told about, I'd been given a heads up by family. Okay, how does this work? There we go. But this is just something that I just turned on the TV and completely out of the blue discovered a thing that I was into. Having that kind of ownership on a fandom, it's important. I mean, all those adverts that say, this ain't your father's Turtles, this ain't whatever anytime that they refresh an old intellectual property. It's because you don't want to be into the stuff that your parents are into. You don't want to just be following the fandoms that came before you. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I like, I have to admit, is stuff that my family like. I mean, my mum is massively proud of the fact that she saw the first Doctor Who on its live broadcast first time round. I got into things like Mazinga Z because, well, it was actually my dad who was releasing those videos in the UK. Does that look straight to you? I think that's about as straight as I'm going to be able to get it. So I wasn't like a super huge toy collector at the time this show was out. I had been, and I certainly hadn't got rid of sort of all of my childhood toys. But I do remember being very annoyed that you couldn't get Samurai Pizza Cat's toys. There was one toy shop that had, like, I think it was Spritz the Cat, and he had like a wall, an absolute wall filled with these, and it had Italian text on it, so it was obviously the same kind of deal as you get with B&M these days, where it's just stock that has not sold. It's ended up on these shores. I was absolutely convinced that somewhere they must have the rest of the figures. I went to like every branch of it in London and was calling up and down the country, but no, it was just that one. And then they started reducing the price on it until I thought it was going to go to sort of under £4. And then I went in the next day and they just got rid of them all. So I had hung on, waiting for it to go down, and missed out. But I have this set now, and I'm incredibly happy to have got it. Thank you to Rachel, who was the person who ran the charity raffle at, I think it was Confuzzled. Yeah, the furry convention. I was not there, but she put it over her Twitter and I just leapt on it. Okay, feet, head, excuse me. Well, I can tell the super glue is dry. Please don't break, please don't break, please don't break, please don't. Each of these support characters comes with a huge amount of sort of weapons and external pieces. Like, there's a tail rotor somewhere. But the main characters came with the Goonie birds, which were these crane-looking creatures that broke up into additional armor pieces to do their super modes. I have to say, I would love to get the original 3, but last time I saw any of them online, it was an eBay auction for polyester with half of her parts popping out of the joints, and we know now that that means that the plastic is starting to go. The box was crushed and she was an absolute snip. At €150. So a little bit out of my price range. Okay, and another one breaks. But I guess this is just what happens to plastic after almost 20 years. This is an original 1990 set. I kinda hope that there are some people out there screaming that I'm taking it out, opening it, playing with it. And if you are, I will just direct you to the ending of every single one of my videos. Oh. If I find that part, I can glue that back on. It's not so bad. I can live with that. Okay, let's get the hands on. Okay, no, that's the base figure, and he's looking pretty cool. Oh, he's missing something. He is missing there. Oh yeah, I like him. That's definitely cool. I'm not applying too many of the stickers because I don't know, I think the stickers on toys just tend not to work so well. But there's a few details on there that I may have to go back and paint. I mean, the noses, a little bit of key lining maybe, just pull that out. I have to go back and watch the cartoon and see if there's anything that really leaks out at me. So there's the front and back of his backpack. You've got these great red rubbery rings. Great red rubbery wings. Which go onto, where are they? Yep, onto those spikes. See, this rubbery plastic's probably my favourite thing of the kit so far. I mean, partly because it's survived. But also it just makes me feel far more like it is a kid's toy rather than a collector's piece, something to put together and then hide away and only get down again when you need to dust. I will of course be putting these straight into my Dettol and not taking them out again until I need to dust them. Okay. Now here's the worrying bit. Last time I tried to put a peg into the crumbling plastic of Spritz. It did not like it, so... Okay, that's gone in, and I am never ever taking it out again. Then he just has the propeller and searchlight which go on there. And then back to this slightly scary teal plastic. He has a couple of long-barreled shotguns. And this is hard plastic on hard plastic. I'm so worried about doing this. No, that was fine. But the backpack has collapsed. I will go in and do a little bit more tidying up before these go to live in my cupboard permanently. But for now, this is what happens when you put together 20-year-old Gunpla. So here we have the Samurai Pizza Cat's Rescue Squad, or B Team, which consists of Water Specialist, Spritz the Cat, Air Specialist, BatCat, Ground Specialist, Meowser O'Toole, and Fire Specialist, General Catton. They all have really fantastic proportions and the expressions are great. The fact that you've got the eyes on individually, I guess, makes every single one slightly different, and it's the thing with like stop motion animation that those mistakes give you character. They're just that super cute SD Gundam style proportions, but it also reminds me a lot of things like Astro Boy, Mega Man, you know, very much the sort of charming 80s, sort of very kitsch anime stuff. It has been 20 years, but I finally got some Samurai Pizza Cats in my collection, and I've actually got a space for them already on my 90s toy shelf along with Reboot and Invader Zim. Thank you for sticking with me for International Cat Month. I haven't done any cat Transformers, but I promise that I will be back to my Transformers reviews in the next video. Thank you for your support. I do hope that you're subscribed. I do hope you've got notifications turned on. And until next time, if you're keeping the mint in package, you're not a toy collector, you're a box collector.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Samurai Pizza Cat Fan Club Oath!
The Pizza Cats are samurai, and I'd like to note...
Their antics take your breath away.
like fur balls in your throat.
We kittens are a special breed. We never call retreat.
Whenever Big Cheese knocks us down...
we land upon our fate.
So hail to thee, O Pizza Cat! Please ring your little bell. Although you may be pen and ink, we know you'll fight like
Pizza Cat!